Hi, I want to dedicate this video to a subject that's very arcane and you don't hear much about it except in very philosophical or in Sufi temple or you know I don't know, in some spiritist circles. It's pretty hard topic. I don't really anticipate a tremendous audience for this video. Some of the other videos I did on similar subjects were pretty thinly viewed, but it's a very interesting subject. I might add that a lot of my ideas and stuff comes from two sources. One is teaching of the Sufi master Shah Mahsud. I've been a disciple or a student for many, many years. And the other one is from quantum physics, and I actually have listened to this lecture that I listened to tonight in the temple. This would probably be the fourth or fifth time that I listened to it, and the last 3-4 times that I listened to this whole lecture, I completely missed almost 90% of what the Sufi master had to say, and the only reason I got it pretty well down tonight is because there was an English translation, and a lot of the ideas resonated with the quantum physics ideas, and I finally got some of the concepts right. Well, we can start from a historical perspective and we go from there. Well, let's call this lecture the nature of reality, but I'll go into some of the other ideas that relate to it. There was a philosopher, his name was Rene Descartes, and he was a dualist. He was interested in material dialectic, and he wanted to follow on the footsteps of Greeks and explain the world in terms of math and physics. He really didn't care about what goes on in people's skull, inside the head, in the mind, in the psychic world. None of that stuff really mattered that much to him. So basically, he divided the world into two reigns or two regions, and the material world and the inner world, whatever is left in your skull. Okay, that's duality basically in Rene Descartes' terms. There was another philosopher, his name was Immanuel Kant, and he basically had the same idea that the world is composed of two parts: an outside world or the world of phenomena, and an inner world, the world of Nomena. And basically the Sufi master kind of went along the same lines. By the way, many Islamic philosophers and from the teachings of Imam Ali, they go into lengths into these discussions, far more detailed than the Western philosophers had ever gone into. But basically, the world of phenomena would be a multi-dimensional world that's very complex and rich, and like a membrane that has like 10 dimensions or 22 dimensions. Okay, it's extremely rich. Is the universe is very complex. I would say it's conscious and intelligent, and the world of Nomena, which is a construct of our mental faculties and our senses, is is what we construct out of the world of phenomena by gathering bits and pieces through the senses and constructing it according to our interpretation, uh, depending on our culture or historical period that each person lived in. There is an image in the back of the mind, or a series of images and videos and outlooks and interpretations of reality. It's just a very scaled down version of what the reality was outside. It's deeply influenced by the culture and the time, even the time of the day, by your religion, many things. And but there is yet another world, which is the beyond the world of Nomena, which is your soul, your spirit, that's your inner self, that's independent of the world of phenomena and world of Nomena. And basically, this self, this inner self or soul, is like a mirror. It's consciousness itself. It's very similar to the world of phenomena. Is also very rich and very complex. Uh, Basically, is is the universe itself is like an ocean, but it's like a drop of it here, and this inner self or inner mirror, it can perceive the world of phenomena without the need for all these conceptions and constructs of the mind, without the mathematical constructions that the physicists do or mathematicians do of the world of phenomena, because that is just a construct. Whereas this inner world, which is consciousness, is able to perceive the outside world or perceive objects or people independently of whatever the world of Nomena has constructed. I would use the analogy of a person who is trapped in a very noisy cinema, and all the images on the screen are constructed from the actual outside, and they're reflected with the loud music or sounds in the screen. But this person, independently of this screen, has also emotions and experiences which at earlier periods they would call revelations. It basically is your own soul experiences itself and the outside world independently of your intellectual constructs. This is very tricky concept to get. And of the three major religions in the world, the Muslim, Islamic religion, and the Christianity and Buddhism, all the three founders, they they started their spiritual journey by going into solitude and discovering this inner self. Basically, Imam Ali says that al-fikr mir'at safi, the true thought, which is this the experience of this inner self, is that pure mirror which reflects the real reality. So basically, you have to eliminate all the distractions and all the noise and all the relationships you have with the world of Nomena, and just fall back into this earlier part of yourself, which is your own soul. Uh, this is a hard analogy. In sci-fi, there was this episode in the Star Trek: The Next Generation, and the captain was trying to find somebody his vessel. Basically, instructed to the computer to subtract all the heartbeats of the other occupants, and the computer kept subtracting the all the people that were accounted for, and finally had one extra heartbeat, and that was the intruder. So I mean, Prophet Muhammad used to go into the cave and meditate for months at a time, and Jesus had many lost years in the desert. So basically, you have to find this inner self independently of this world of Nomena, of this construct that's in your head, this image, which is not reality, is a mirage, what you or your culture or your civilization has constructed, and it's like a prison house. It's not reality, it's false. It works in a daily interactions with our own kind, but is not reality, is not true. And quantum physics has proven that, because quantum physics is the first science of that in which the physicists came face to face with the fact that their mathematical construction of the world of phenomena did not match the experimental results. That meant that there was something wrong or incomplete about this mathematical construction of the world of phenomena. This is the first time that they found out that there isn't a one-to-one relationship between this mathematical world that we have constructed, like a ghost in the back of the machine or in the back of your mind, and the real world, the reality that's out there. But what I'm positing is that our soul is the same stuff that the reality or the consciousness of the universe has constructed. We are basically a manifestation of this universe, and because we are of the same stuff, the same consciousness, we can perceive the universe by going back and falling back into this same consciousness that the universe is constructed out of. This is really difficult for many philosophers and many mathematicians to grasp, and there is vigorous opposition to these ideas. All throughout history this has been going on, but when a person falls back into this consciousness, is like you have collected all your energies and you're focusing, and here this becomes the focal point, and because it's the same stuff as the universe, when you focus on this thing, it can show you the past or the future or the destiny. This is the basis for prophecy, the basis for psychic phenomena of perceiving other beings, perceiving the dead. Is a complete mirror that reflects the whole thing, instead of fragments and bits and pieces that my senses collect from outside world. I don't know how to put this even in a simpler form. I was listening to the lecture of the Sufi master, and he was struggling to get these concepts through, and they are not easy ideas. They are very difficult. Basically, also Prophet Muhammad said that this being, focusing on this being, is a way to perceive the whole universe, to perceive every object, everything. When you focus on this inner self, this inner self possesses every object, every knowledge, every thing that exists. It is basically total existence in itself. It's like you have a little hologram, everything is showing up in there somehow. uh, I would like to add that this is the only thing that a Sufi or a dervish tries to do, is to fall back and to go back here. In fact, in many Sufi temples, on the very top, they have the first words of the Sufi master that said, "Alayka biqalbika," to you, return to your own heart. And Prophet Muhammad said, "You be you," which means you be not this construct of your mind and your culture and all this crap. You be this inner self, and this is the reality. This is the nature of reality, which is God, which is the universe. The universe is also consciousness, and this thing is just like that one. That's why this thing can perceive all that, because it's made of the same stuff. Anyhow, I want to, this is the only place that I want to go in there and become one with it. This is in Christian theology, this is referred to as going home or kingdom of God, which is like and I mean, there are manifestations that when you are in there, you feel like you have come home, and there is a feeling of love and being in one unit, unity, and feeling of connectedness, and all these experiences that are experiences or expressions of love and compassion, they come from this inner self. They don't come from this construction of the mind. Usually the constructions of the mind or the world of Nomena result in scientists that build weapons of destruction and killing other people, because it's a false world. It's not real. I don't know. I'll probably find a different way of explaining this. In Sufism, this is referred to as a drop of water that falls into the ocean and just becomes the ocean. There is no, we have the privilege of having that drop of water, and we can look into it and become one with it. Then we experience the universe or the ocean. Anyhow, these concepts and ideas are extremely exotic, and there is a point that many practitioners they go in and experience it instead of just conceptualizing it and intellectualizing about it. It's not intellectual pursuit, is a spiritual pursuit. So it's to be lived, not to be thinking about it. I appreciate you leaving comments, and I would like to know if there is a concept that I didn't explain it fully. I have been looking at these ideas for a very long time, and basically they are not simple ideas, and we can go into more aspects of it later on. Thank you very much for being in my video channel.